This video, I mean, with the most disrespect possible. I just watched a clip of James Charles, and I have to just say what an idiot he is. Let's go. Let's talk about it because it was so irritating to me. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I am going to fill you in. But first, I want to fill you in on my credentials. So I have worked as a hiring manager for the past 3 years. I've hired lots of people. I swear every single time I hire, we get hundreds of applicants. And there's just so much to it. In doing some research, I found that it takes 6 to 9 months for even someone with a lot of expertise to find a job. I'll pop up some articles in case you're curious, but just so you know, it does take a long time for people in this job market to find a job. So let's get into it. James Charles was just found making a fool of himself. And I say just found very sarcastically because I think that that's all he does. Frankly, I don't think that he was ever good at makeup. I don't think that he is a very good person. And I don't think that he deserves anything that he's gotten. However, he does have what he has. So we're going to bash him a little bit because this actually made me a little bit furious. I can't help myself. So I'm gonna scooch over to this side and I'll pop the video up and let's watch. And just so you know, both of these videos that we're going to watch have been deleted. The reason I found it was because of Jackie Aina. She was reacting to it. I loved what she had to say, but I was able to find these 2 videos from reaction channels. So let's watch.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's a GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job. Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same fuck-ass message to myself.
I'm so sorry. I have to pause this here. He's telling her to go get another job. I'm going to say this right now, full chest. He has no marketable skills. So if he were to, I don't know, try and get a job just like he's telling this girl to, he would not be able to.
Who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities. You could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God. Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you? Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need the GoFundMe? I can at least 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed, doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off, okay? I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally gonna be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees and it's gonna be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies. Go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. This bitch, you lost your fucking job? What are we gonna do? Nothing! I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a fucking new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
Taking a deep breath, taking it in. Oh my gosh, the way that my blood pressure rose throughout that entire video. There are so many reasons that I had a problem with that video. First of all, I mentioned it earlier, James Charles himself has no marketable skills. He got famous for doing TikToks, not TikToks, YouTube, which I'm not saying isn't a skill. However, if he were to try to, I don't know, market his skill in any other way, he would not have a job because he would be competing against people that, I don't know, knew something about analytics, knew something about makeup, knew something about cosmetology, knew something about all of these other fields that he claims to know something about. So he couldn't even get the jobs that he is saying, go get a job. He couldn't get those jobs either. Let's be clear, he doesn't have any marketable skills. He's really not that great of a makeup artist. I've seen his work. Nothing, okay? I'm so sorry. I hate to be this person who's just bagging on someone, but frankly, this video was completely inappropriate. The way that he was like, oh, it doesn't hurt to ask except for it does because now I'm pissed off. I'm sorry. Why do I care that you're pissed off? Someone was asking for help. I'm not saying that you had to donate, but why'd you make the video? Just don't donate. Just say, hey, I'm so sorry. Things are rough for everyone right now, and move on. Or don't say anything at all. That's the thing, is he didn't have to respond, period. I think that's something that Jackie Aina said, is she was like, he didn't have to respond. Great, agreed. He didn't have to respond. I'm not saying that he had to donate, but he also didn't have to respond. Whew, okay. Then he posted this other video that was a apology video, and I put that in air quotes because in no way do I think this is an apology. Let's really quickly, I'm just gonna pull up the definition of an apology. Here we have it. This is from Merriam-Webster's, not the AI version, just Merriam-Webster's, an admission of error or discourtesy accompanied by an expression of regret. I saw no regret. I saw no real apology either, but regardless, we're gonna move on. We're gonna watch this next video from him. All right, again, I'm gonna just scooch to the side. Keep in mind that this was, again, a deleted video that no longer exists, and this is a video that she had saved. So she's up in the beginning of this video. Okay, let's watch.
So I ended up deleting the video that I posted yesterday talking about people who send me GoFundMe links that have never followed, supported, DM me before, just begging for money. And most people were like enjoying the video, saying it was a valid point, but it definitely started causing some discourse in the comments. And a lot of people were just saying it was out of touch and insensitive. And they're right. It was definitely a harsh choice of words, maybe not my best video, and I deleted it. But of course the internet is forever, and now a lot of content creators are using like the 5-second clip in the very beginning where I'm like, you're a lazy piece of shit, get a new job, to upload their cute little think pieces being like, influencers are all so out of touch, this is so disgusting, you don't know how hard it is in the job market these days. Oh my god, give me a fucking break. I am out of touch, first and foremost, okay? I am never going to be one of those influencers that gets online and pretends to be poor so I can come across as relatable to my audience. I think it's tacky, I think it's annoying, and I also think it's quite insulting to the audience watching, as if you guys are going to be fooled into thinking that. You've been watching me for 10 years now. It's no secret that I have been able to find success doing what I've done. It didn't start that way, though. I started from literally nothing and had a dream for myself and was determined to literally do anything to make it happen, and luckily, I've been blessed to be able to do that and now call this my full-time job. The reason I made that video yesterday, though, was a lot of people these days do not have the make it work mentality. They have no desire to actually put in the effort to try to fix a problem and get themselves out of a situation. They immediately result in asking for help. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for help. In my personal opinion, though, it should be a last resort. If you disagree, that's totally fine. That's your personal opinion. I'm not going to apologize for having mine. There's a lot of people responding back to the video being like, oh my gosh, he has no idea how hard the job market is. I've been applying for new jobs for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years now, and I've literally heard back nothing from any of the jobs. I'm sorry that that is happening to people. I know that the job market fucking sucks. I've heard so many horror stories. I can't even imagine what that's like. Those are the people, in my opinion, that are totally valid and asking for help. The person that I made the video about yesterday lost their job last week at Spirit Airlines, along with 17,000 other people. And granted, I don't know this person. Maybe making a GoFundMe link was really their last resort. I just personally did not believe that to be the case because I know for a fact that they sent this same exact DM to hundreds of different influencers and celebrities. This person did not follow me. They have never DM'd me previously. They have never supported me on any social platforms. They have never purchased from Painted. This person was literally just spam copying and pasting this DM to every person that they assumed had money to offer them. And I'm sorry, just because somebody has money does not mean that you're entitled. I'm sorry if that comes across as insensitive or privileged or mean, but welcome to the real world. It's fucking hard out there. Nobody owes anybody anything. The universe will constantly remind you of that. And a little bit of effort goes a really, really long way sometimes. I stand behind what I said 10 toes down. Instead of spending an hour copying and pasting the same DM to 100 different celebrities or influencers, you could have spent the same amount of time copying and pasting a job application to hundreds of different companies. Or, hear me out, put in a little bit of effort. If you want to send the DMs, at least spend 20 seconds before you hit send, customizing it to the person that you're asking for money from, right? Hi, sister. James, I've been watching your YouTube videos since I was a teenager. You really taught me how to do makeup and have positively impacted my life every single Friday. Hey, I'm in this shitty situation. Do you think that you could help? Probably would have gone a lot further than a generic message. Or instead of copy and pasting the same job application to hundreds of different companies, send in 10 job applications to companies that you really care about and you think you could fit in with, and then customize your application and your cover letter, letting these recruiters or hiring people know that you're the best candidate for this job and why they should want you on their team. I know putting in the extra work and effort probably feels useless when you know that you're in a sea of DMs or job applicants, but trust and believe, as somebody who's now on the other side of things, the little bit of extra effort does go a very long way. And unfortunately, taking the easy route is usually never going to work. That's just my 2 cents. Just a word of advice. You can take it, you can leave it. It's all good. I just wanted to provide some more context on my video yesterday because I do not like how it's being twisted and taken out of context. It was definitely never my intention to undermine anybody who's trying to work and provide a better future for themselves, their family, and their loved ones. I just don't exactly think that that is what this person was trying to do, or at least the right way to go about doing it.
Ooh, again, deep breath in. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Exhibit A. So here's the thing. He's saying instead of, taking this time to send this to a bunch of influencers, a bunch of people, maybe you should have taken the time to send DMs and send messages to businesses. I told you I was a hiring manager, right? 100%. And this could be specifically the industry that I hire for. However, 100%, you best believe that if people are sending me DMs, that pisses me off. I don't want to hear a DM from you because guess what? It doesn't help your chances. I promise you I'm going to look at all of the resumes. I promise you that a DM makes zero difference. So this is definitely speaking from someone who has never had to apply for a job in his life. I'm sorry, but not true. Also, again, Spirit Airlines went out of business last week. They had no warning. They probably had no contingency plans. They had nothing. Now, I'm not saying that that doesn't happen to people every single day. It does. However, because this kind of came out of the blue for people, she's just trying to do what she can. Now, I'm not saying that I have the means to financially support this person. I don't. And I'm not saying that I necessarily would, even if I was a very rich influencer, because I think that that is another question altogether. I'm not a rich influencer. I work full time. I make videos on the side just for fun because I like it. Okay. Let's just get that out of the way. To say that this person could have spent that time applying is asinine because frankly, it takes a long time to apply for jobs. Not only that, in this current job market, you are competing with hundreds, if not thousands, of other people, depending on the job that you're applying to. You're competing with AI because AI bots spam job boards. You are competing with internal candidates who potentially have a leg up anyways. This is a crazy take. And I realize that he probably doesn't understand that this is a crazy take, but this is an insane take. I can't wrap my mind around how idiotic this person sounds. And here's the thing, like I said, I've repeated this throughout the video, and I know I'm getting a little ranty, although apparently y'all like when I rant, so we're just gonna dive right in. Here's the thing. You are not qualified to apply for any of the, you could not even get a job at most makeup places because you're not qualified to work at most makeup places. And I am saying that as someone who's a makeup artist. I'm a cosmetologist. I also, fun fact, I'm a web developer. I've worked in web development for 7 years. Fun fact, even I would have a hard time getting some of these jobs. It takes a long time. As I said, it's taking 6 months to a year for most people to actually find a job. So don't get here getting off your high horse. And you want to talk about putting in effort? Why are you laying in bed making a video? Be so for real. Why are you in bed making this video talking about putting in effort? You didn't even bother putting on a shirt for this video. You didn't even bother getting ready. You're literally glass houses. Okay, I have one more video that I want to talk about. This one is not from him. This one is from Jackie Aina. And she is the reason that actually this video came to my attention. I actually like Jackie Aina. I think that she is phenomenal at what she does. I don't know much about her, but from the videos that I've seen of her, I do really like her. So she kind of did a little bit of a reaction to this. And since I don't have the influencer perspective, I kind of liked her take on things. And actually, she's the reason that I believe that James Charles even tried to create an apology. So let's watch. Again, we're gonna scoochie. I'm so sorry today. So my rolly chair broke, and so I'm using just a kitchen chair, and my new rolly chair is in the mail. Yeah, first world problems. All right, let's watch this video from Jackie Aina. I apologize, some of it does start with James Charles ranting again. Let's watch anyways.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's a GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
Jobless behavior, by the way. On his part, very jobless behavior on James Charles' part. James and I are considered peers. I'm a content creator. He's a content creator. I'm a founder. He is a founder. We are technically considered peers. I normally like to mind my business. I don't like to come after other creators. This is probably one of the, I thought this was fake. Is this fake? I don't think James has ever had a real job. I don't think he's ever had a job that isn't social media, that isn't an independent contractor. I don't think he's ever clocked in. I don't think he's ever had a W-2. I don't think he's ever done any of that. The way you're talking to this person shows, and it's very disgusting and it's very inappropriate.
You could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help?
James Charles, in 2026, the job market right now is the worst that it's ever been. And as bad as I envisioned this video being, as I kept watching it, it just got worse because what do you mean you're lazy?
And you think that I'm gonna send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God, welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day.
I understand not wanting to be a bank. I understand not wanting to be treated like a disposable source of income all the time. I understand that. I get it. But not responding was also an option. A very respectable and easy option. You simply could have just not responded. It's the fact that you turn on your camera, you recorded this, seemingly sober, ? And you posted it. For what? You thought we was gonna be on your side? Absolutely not. What's particularly annoying about this is that I know ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm not saying that I want something to happen to you, but all I'm saying is as a white man, you can turn on your camera, talk absolutely crazy out the side of your neck, and it's going to warrant 0 consequences for you, much like many other things. I don't know what the hell inspired this post, but that was absolutely a terrible take.
Pissed me off, okay? I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. He's like, go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. What are we gonna do? Nothing!
I just feel like to never have to have entered the workplace yourself and to say something like this takes an insane amount of privilege. It's just literally oozing from this video, from his damn flat top. I'm confused. I'm confused what you thought we was gonna get from that. That was absolutely terrible and you really should have kept it. It's honestly very rare that I respond to other influencer scandals or when they get dragged. Like, it has to be something that directly affects me. I feel like I caught a stray because what in the world was that. And I think I also just have a problem. Like right now we have a gender pay gap. We have a race pay gap. I've literally been dragged for much less. It begs the question, like, how comfortable do you have to be to get to that point to where you just are saying it with your chest? I think this was disgusting. You may need to clear that GoFundMe just for what you did. I'm sorry. I've lived through every era of the beauty industry. Literally every era, the worst of the worst. That's probably one of the worst things I've ever seen an influencer say willingly on camera. Also, I have to say this, we've been down this road before. When other influencers mess up in the public eye, do not tag me in these scandals and expect me to respond to everybody. I'm absolutely not. I am not the beauty community school principal. This one really pissed me off. This will definitely not become a pattern. I'm sorry, I just had to say something.
Jackie Ina coming in here with the great takes. Okay, so she said a few things that I think are really important to this conversation. The first is, she said, we are peers. She's like, I've been through it all too. She's like, the easiest thing and the thing that he should have done was just not respond. Period. Enough said. He didn't have to say anything. And I think that's probably honestly what pissed me off the most. Like I said, I don't expect him to fund other people's lifestyles. I don't think that that is his responsibility. However, you're coming in here hot saying, I should, like, this isn't my responsibility. You need to work. She brought up a good point too, as to say, well, he's never ever probably clocked in for a job. And she's like, is he sober in saying this? Because this is crazy. She also brought up oh my gosh, I can't say the word now. The disparity? Okay, ignore that. This is a serious video. She also pointed out the pay gap, she also pointed out the gap between employments, how hard it is in 2026 to get a job. Even employed, it is very difficult to get a job. She also pointed out some other ethical things that I am not going to get into in this video. That said, do we think that this was a good idea for you to get on here and to create this crazy video just talking out of your butt, saying these disgusting things about people who, quite frankly, have funded your lifestyle? Again, not saying that you need to contribute to this person losing their job, or not saying that you need to fund this person's lifestyle. I'm not saying that. I would never say that. I think that we work for what we have, and I'm not expecting you to pass it on. However, you are really going to full chest come on here and say, I don't owe you anything. Well, you do, because these people, these everyday people that you're making fun of all of the time, are the ones that made you famous, are the ones that liked, clicked, all of that. I'm sorry, this is getting really old. Now, I'm not saying that I really do hate cancel culture and all of that, but if there was ever a time for us to say, yeah, mass unfollow, I think this might be it. I really do love, because Jackie Ina, like she said, she doesn't react to this. She's not the influencer police. She's not the principal. She's not any of that. And me, I'm not that either. I kind of just make videos about what I want to make videos about. I love makeup. I love the beauty industry. I work in the beauty industry. So it's clearly important to me. But I just think that this is actually one of the most wild things to happen in the beauty space in a very long time. So I'm thinking, like, since maybe Mascara Gate. And even that wasn't quite as out of touch. It was out of touch in the sense that she was clearly lying, but it wasn't out of touch in the sense that he's full on shots fired at these everyday people and doesn't have a clue. Doesn't have a clue of what that actually looks like for people as a whole. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The word of the day is, what a dumbass. I'm sorry. No, not that. Don't put that. Don't put that in the comments below. Instead, put, are we serious? Put, are we serious in the comments below if you liked this video. Thanks so much for watching. Watch me rant. Bye.
Are we serious? Are we serious? Ring lights shining like a cheap halo glow. Talking so loud, but there's nothing below. Selling fake wisdom like it's breaking news. Smiling for the camera, but it doesn't have a clue. Everybody watching, everybody nods, turning empty noise into internet gods. Say it with confidence, make it look mysterious. I'm standing here like, are we serious? Are we serious? This is what we're calling truth. Dressed up in filters, but it doesn't have a clue. Big opinions, little proof. Are we serious? Tell me, what are we supposed to do when the loudest voice in the room still doesn't have a clue? Copy paste soul with a sponsored point of view, acting like a prophet from a hotel room. Every little meltdown turned into reviews. Everybody listens, but it doesn't have a clue. Maybe it's the algorithm feeding all the fame. Maybe we just love to put a spotlight on a name. But if this is the future, I'm honestly confused. How'd we give the mic to one who doesn't have a clue? Are we serious?